Oh, this one's a bit, I guess, a bit more closer to. I will say this: if your heart is in the middle of mending and healing, maybe this is for you. Maybe this message will resonate for you. Choose those who choose you. Sounds simple, yeah? We all kind of like the challenge, right? We like a little bit of of excitement, a little bit of effort, because we have been conditioned and programmed to believe that love is worth fighting for, right? Whatever you want, you have to fight for it. You have to put in your blood, sweat, and tears to prove that you're worthy of such a love, that you're worthy of such a outcome, if you will, because it's all about the outcome that people are chasing after usually. It's a certain desired outcome that people want to fight for, and there's something a bit that we're missing a bit, because it becomes imbalanced if you're fighting for something, or you are chasing something, or you're over giving your energy to when the other isn't giving anything to you at all. I mean, either the bare minimum. And I'm going to introduce the term that I think people know what this is now: breadcrumbing. Breadcrumbing is, I believe, it's a very abusive tactic, a way to control another when you're being breadcrumbed to death, meaning you're being emotionally, psychologically starved of something that organically just feels very natural. It just feels like, okay, this should be something I'm receiving. This should be a beautiful flow, but it's not. We've all have had friendships or relationships, romantic, platonic, where we're just getting the bare minimum. And this is because you've chosen that person. You've chosen that person to be one of your main characters, and one of your supporting characters in your story. They don't look at you that way at all. They may say it from time to time. They may make misleading comments that would indicate that you are of importance, but that's not the case. Breadcrumbing over time, when you get stuck in a cycle, it's very toxic behavior. When you get stuck in that cycle, it slowly begins to devalue you. You begin to allow the other to devalue you, your energy, your time, your effort. And it lowers your self-esteem over time. And this is something that you have to choose yourself. Like I meant in the previous video, today I choose myself today. You have to choose you. Okay, when they don't choose you, because it's imbalanced and it's unhealthy. Breadcrumbing is by far a pet peeve of mine. That is the biggest, quickest no for me moving forward. Okay, like when someone's breadcrumbing you and you're showing up for that one friend, you're dropping everything would they do the same for you? Right? And sometimes you'll even mention it. And here's the thing: when you mention to them, hey, I noticed that when, I'll make this phone call, or I'm calling you, or I'm texting you, or I'm showing up for you, you call me whenever, and I drop everything to meet you where you're at, I'm not really getting the same back. Usually, because it's so toxic, they get really nasty, right? What do you mean? You should be grateful for my effort. You should be grateful I'm here right now. You should be grateful that I showed up at your appointment here. You should be grateful that I showed up at that event for you over there. But you and they know there's a severe imbalance, right? And if you let it go on and on and on and on, it's going to get worse, right? And then you just stop making any comments about it at all. You just kind of take it. You close your mouth. You become quiet. You're silent. and you begin to dim, and you make yourself small, and your needs are not being met. That's unhealthy. That's something that's saying, it says that accepting that type of toxic behavior from another says more about you than the other, because the other is saying, I don't care. I don't, you're not a number one. You're number 1,296. You look like a fool, but I'm not going to call you a fool to your face, but I'm literally laughing at you when you walk away. That behavior is so blunt. It's such a I don't give a good goddamn about you type of energy. And when you just kind of ignore it and you let it prolong, you let that friendship continue, you let that relationship continue, yeah. And I'm sorry, yes, it becomes your fault in a way, because you're like, well, I can't do better. Well, maybe maybe I am too needy. Maybe I am too desperate. Maybe I'm too this. Maybe I'm too that. And you begin to internalize that and make it a you issue. It's not a you issue. It's more of, or what do I mean? It is a you issue if you're accepting that behavior, but it's more of you need to know that it's unhealthy, and that it's maltreatment. No one deserves that. No one. Your energy is being taken advantage of. And that's very, very difficult to swallow, very difficult to come to terms with. But how much longer will you suffer because of that? We all have to choose to free ourselves from our own shackles that we agree to wear. Sometimes it's not always the other person, right? That other person is mirroring back to us our own wound and our own way of how we perceive our worth and our value. That person is actually the biggest gift that you could ever have. It's an opportunity to shift yourself, to shift your energy back to you, to tell yourself, you know what? I'm not getting what I'm giving, and I'm done. Thank you so much for telling me or showing me that this is what it is. Because the ego will make it and flip it because of our own traumas and our own wounds and our own issues. Oh, maybe I need to just be quiet about it because I don't want to lose. No. Let that person go. Let the other go. Let that friendship go. Let the relationship go, and just back all the way the F up. Let it go. When you're getting a no from a connection, that's your higher self saying, yes, thank God. Like, yes, you freed me. I'm no longer imprisoned by this awful, abusive cycle. I'm no longer getting breadcrumbs, Like, here's a text. Here's a picture. Here's a visit. There. Why are you still hungry? It's quite toxic. So now that you're aware of this, because when you first, it takes a minute to identify that you're being breadcrumbed, and sometimes we just woefully will put the blinders on because there's something in our heart that is so deeply wounded and just wants to be loved and accepted so much that we're willing to tolerate bullshit. We're willing to accept the littlest amount of effort just so that we can know that warmth, feel that soul fire. But do not forget that you have your own soul fire that needs to be tended to. No one else's soul fire can light you up like yours. No one can replace it. And that is a very difficult thing to accept, But then I'll be alone. Oh, well, then be in aloneness. All oneness. All oneness. That's all I have at this moment. Thank you so much for tuning in. And, you know, don't let anyone starve you from what you deserve. Don't do that. They will gladly take all that you can give. I swear to you. They will gladly, with absolutely no remorse and no guilt, no compassion. They will take it. That's a whole nother video possibly on the why people do that. But yeah, there are people like that with a smile on their face, and they'll keep it moving. They'll take and take, and you'll give and give and give and give and give with your hand. You're like, okay, like, you know, and then you'll say, well, can I? No, you can't. Are you willing to? No, I'm not. Just say, okay. Be grateful. Your higher self is celebrating. Your lower self is probably all the way emotionally messed up, and that's what you have to nurture, because a lot of our wounds are in that lower chakras, then the root chakra, sacral, solar, right? And the abandonment, emotional abandonment. With emotional abandonment, you unfortunately learn to self-abandon, right? With not feeling secure, you feel insecure. With misalignment, you're not in alignment of yourself, or you're not truly in alignment with the right connection. And so with the lower self, this is an opportunity to allow your higher self to go, hey, lower self, it's all good. Let me help you. Let me soothe you. You can strengthen the lower self through these experiences. It's tough. It's a tough thing to accept about yourself. When you are the acceptee of being breadcrumbed to death, literally. Everyone deserves the whole cake. Everyone, when you're getting the whole cake, you get a whole cake back too. But if you're giving the whole cake, you're just being given breadcrumbs. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Keep it moving. Have dignity. Have self-respect. And show gratitude for that person's soul. You may not like the personality or the ego of the person who's doing that to you, but have gratitude that in this soul connection, they helped to assist you in breaking this toxic ass cycle of belittling yourself when you're giving your all. No, it's time to step on up. And don't worry, the person who's doing all that breadcrumbing, they have deeper issues that are way more profound than one can even imagine. So no one's getting out unscathed. Breadcrumbers are usually almost vampiric in nature, because they have to go to a new source and a new source and a new source. They take on so much energy, and all that energy is being stored up in their body, and then they only give a little bit, just a little bit here and a little bit there. That energy becomes stagnant. There's no flow in them. And when there's no flow and there's only stagnation, that manifests into physical blocks in their reality. Meaning it shows up as illnesses, it shows up as financial blocks, it shows up as indecisiveness, it shows up as confusion as to what life direction they need to choose, that they need to take. Very, very serious repercussions of breadcrumbing others, right? And to the overgivers, you get burnt out. It's pretty obvious. And then you have to do all this internal work of loving yourself. But the most important thing to walk away from this video, this message, is to break the freaking cycle. Break it off. Thank you so much. See you.